Good morning, everyone, or I guess afternoon in a lot of places. We're just now getting through the 11 o'clock hour, so it's still kind of morning here. Anyway, I'm Lola King, and I wanted to touch base with you guys really quickly about hydrosols. I want to go over a couple facts, a couple fictions, and obviously get your questions answered. So if you are joining me for the first time, thank you. And if you're catching me for the replay, thank you. I know your time is valuable, so I don't want to be on too long, but I do want to share some things that I think are incredibly important, because I have seen a lot of stuff flying around lately and it really concerns me. The first thing that I have seen is that essential oils and hydrosols. Well, let me rephrase this. Essential oils are a product of distillation. This is true. Hydrosols are a byproduct of essential oil distillation. Kind of, but not really. And here's why that is myth. Because I actually work directly with distillers, and I distill myself, to create beautiful hydrosols that have the most therapeutic content they possibly can based on how the distillation is ran. So we're talking lower temperatures. It's going to take a little bit longer. It's not going to be this, run over to a still, a commercialized still, no less. Push a button and have the distillation be done in an hour, and whatever water is left over, we're going to sell that as hydrosol. That is not a good hydrosol. That's a byproduct of essential oil distillation. And while it may have some potential uses, the reality is that it's not going to be nearly as good as a hydrosol that is distilled for the hydrosol, for the purpose of creating a hydrosol. So, for example, when I am distilling so that I can get as much hydrosol as possible that's got a really nice, full, well-balanced body to it. And I, most of the time, don't even get much for essential oil because, again, my focus is on obtaining the hydrosol, not an essential oil. Now, if I were to focus on obtaining the essential oil, I would still get roughly the same amount of solution that would have, it would be the water and some light chemical constituents that pass over, but it's not going to be the same. So that's incredibly important. So just to rehash, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, hydrosols are not true hydrosols. True hydrosols in the sense of what a hydrosol actually is, are not byproducts of essential oil distillation. They are solutions left over. When you're talking about hydrosols in that regard, essential oil distillations, those are just solutions left over from an essential oil distillation. They have some uses, but they're just not going to be as fragrant. They're not going to be as well balanced when it comes to the chemistry, and the pH is going to be slightly different as well. So it's really important to understand that a hydrosol is created for the sole purpose of obtaining the hydrosol in a distillation, not the other way around. So when you're shopping around and using hydrosols, you want to make sure that you're using a hydrosol that's been created for the purpose of creating hydrosols, not a byproduct of an essential oil. Because here's the reality of it. A lot of essential oil distillers, they are doing what we call coabation, where they are cycling water in a system so that any amount of water that comes out goes right back in, so they're getting more essential oil. That doesn't give you a good quality solution to use as a hydrosol when you're talking about those waters. So if you have any questions on what a real hydrosol is, this is what I'm going to tell you. A real hydrosol is the aqueous solution that is obtained during a distillation for the purpose of creating hydrosols. It will contain a certain amount of chemistry based on the alcoholic chemistry or the alcohol chemistry that will transfer into water. So those water-loving components, the aquaphilic components. Anything else you are getting is going to be less of a product. Now, I have also seen people use the term floral waters as hydrosols. Those are not the same either. Floral waters is a really tricky term. A lot of people like to use that because it's been around for so long, but it's really not what people think it is. Floral waters can be anything that's got a floral additive, if you will. It can be anything that's been infused. I mean, it really can be anything. It's not the same as a hydrosol. Hydrolat, that's the same as a hydrosol. And I know there's a lot of people that tend to confuse the two, but they really are the same. Hydrolats and hydrosols are exactly the same. It's just a different way of saying it. But floral waters are not the same as hydrosols. They're not the same as hydrolats. So again, if you guys have any questions, I've got a post going that says fact or fiction or fact or myths, one of the two, on this Facebook page where you can ask your questions and I will directly answer them there. Or if you're not comfortable, email me or message me and I will answer your question. All right, that's it. I'm gonna hop off because it looks like I've got a couple questions coming in that want to be answered privately. Again, I am more than happy to do that for you if you do have questions. That's what I am here for, to help you along your journey. Have a great day. Bye-bye.